If less is more, there's no end to me. What is up, my friends? Welcome. Another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We're playing some Modern today. We got a spicy one, courtesy of Aspiring Spike. Aspiring Spike, fellow content creator. Aspiring Spike has been the Modern brewmaster for like the last year. Aspiring Spike plays basically only Modern. Is always brewing up really cool decks. Has a great stream. Definitely check out Aspiring Spike. Great stream, great YouTube. And I saw Aspiring Spike playing this deck, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to snip that one. I got to try that one out because that looks pretty fun. We have a blue-white Faerie Blink deck here. So, of course, you all know I love Aether Vial, right? Of course, Aether Vial, one of the better cards in Modern. Although, one of the more misunderstood cards because you can't just put it in any creature deck. Your creature deck needs to be able to, like, draw cards and kind of, like, keep... You know, you need to be able to use the mana generation that Aether Vial creates. Otherwise, you play it, and then you use it for a turn or two, and then it just sits there and does nothing the rest of the game. So, this deck is drawing tons of cards. This is sort of a blue-white, basically a blink deck. So, of course, we have Soulherder here. Soulherder here, Modern Horizons card. Can exile, can blink something every turn. Blinking, of course, means, for those who don't know what the nomenclature is, blink means to exile and return a creature. So, to bounce your own thing for value, allowing you to reuse enters the battlefield abilities, right? So, Soulherder blinks things every turn, right? That's one of the big ones. And, of course, Ephemerate. Really, really powerful card. Just came to Historic. Been in Modern for a bit now. The cheapest, most efficient blink effect ever printed. 1 mana for 2 blinks is phenomenal. And those 2 blinks lead to a bunch of enters the battlefield creatures, right? So we have Wall of Omens, comes into play and draws a card. We have Watcher for Tomorrow. A little different. It comes into play and Hideaway is a card. And then when it leaves the battlefield, you put that card in your hand. So basically draw a card. Spellstutter Sprite can counter 1 mana spells by itself and more with help from other fairies. We'll get to that a little bit. Of course, Paul Vito here can exile cards and tax them. Skyclave can kill things. I believe the wording on Skyclave is the old wording. So these sorts of Oblivion Ring effects, the old wordings, it was 2 separate clauses. So clause 1, exile this thing. Clause 2, if this would be leave the battlefield, it gives it back or gives something back. And the old wordings, there were tricks you could do with it, where if you blink this in response to the first trigger. So I play Skyclave, I target your Curd Ape, and before the trigger resolves, I Ephemerate it. It blinks out, the leaves play trigger happens, but there's nothing exiled yet, so it doesn't actually do anything. Then it comes back and triggers again, and now you've averted the downside and gotten 2 triggers, which is really, really cool. So templated the old way, which works out really, really well. Of course, Vendilion Clique can steal cards to your opponent's hand. Venser can bounce things. So really, really sweet deck here. There's a lot of cool interactive stuff happening here. A lot of good removal in Skyclave and Venser. A lot of interaction, Spellstutter Sprite and Spellbinder. 4 Mutavault here are to help power up Spellstutter Sprite to counter things that cost more than 1. We've got Aether Vial to put things in play. We got Ephemerate to flicker things. We have Teferi, which can do multiple duty here, bouncing your opponent's stuff, bouncing your stuff to cast again. Also just a very good card in general. And a couple Glasspools in the mana base, which are great off Aether Vial as well. Vials will be on 3 most of the time here. So really cool value deck here. And looks pretty awesome. Sideboard's got Auriok Champion, rest in peace. 4 copies of On Thin Ice. This is the removal spell of choice in this deck, which is pretty interesting actually. Not Path to Exile, but On Thin Ice is pretty good, honestly. And Path giving a land is a real drawback. So Force of Negation as well. Damping Sphere as well. Deck looks super cool. I am stoked to try this deck out. And it just looks really fun. So let's get going. But first, we work from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, round number 1, and good old Wall of Omens. Hand looks a little fair, but we're gonna keep. Point them all, get a 6. So looks like a cube draft. I guess part of my allure to this deck is it just looks like a cube draft deck, like just a bunch of cool value cards. Forgotten Cave Go. if I had to guess, I would say Dredge. That'd be my guess. Drawing Aether Vial, it's pretty sweet. It's a good draw on our part. Play Vial, so they go. Dredge seems a little tough, honestly. I don't really interact with them super well. If it is Dredge. This looks like Dredge. Stomping Ground, Forgotten Cave, and Cathartic Reunion. Yeah. Okay. So they dredging. Thrilling Discovery, Stinkweed Imp, Narco Amoeba. Not a great dredge. They dredged 5 and then missed on the other dredgers, so that's good. That's good. We got a little time here. And Venser number 2. It's a lot of Vensers. All right, so we can Watcher, we can Wall here. Taking damage is like very, very suspect because they're basically a burn deck with their Creeping Chills. We could just fetch a Plains here, play Wall of Omens. I think I kind of like that. Try and draw our other basics. Or fetches for basics. All right, so play that. Play Wall of Omens. Strand, perfect. So now next turn we can Spellbinder and Watcher for tomorrow. And they got no dredgers, so they need to have another Cathartic or kind of card to get the dredge going again to make things really scary for us. Looks like they might. No, red. Weird they would play the land second, meaning they're probably not playing Bloodghast, I guess. Conflagrate is very good against us. Stinkweed Imp. Oxygonis, Creeping Chill. Still pretty bad, honestly. Not really the most exciting. Maybe they're playing around Curse Catcher. I don't know why they would play the land first. There's not playing Bloodghast. So pretty bad dredges, honestly. We're pretty fortunate on that side of things. We are at 15 already, but all right, Vial goes up. Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. So we're gonna like Elite Spellbinder here and leave up Spellstutter or Watcher for tomorrow's. Their hand is Stink, Loam, Narco. That's actually pretty cool. So we actually like nuke the Loam here. And now the Loam costs is there like a way to differentiate what card is or whatever. My first Spellbinder cast on Magic Online doesn't seem to be like a way to differentiate what that card is or where they can play it or whatever, but sure. Let me just say go here. So their hand is that's their Exile. Dredge, another Chill, and there was an Amalgam also. So now this Chill goes off, so now there's 2 Chills left, so we're effectively at 5. And they have a Conflagrate too, so like we don't really like gain life or anything, so I don't know if we can like really win this game, honestly. You can't counter Conflagrate with Spellstutter Sprite because it costs $1 million because the X is still paid. So you discard 5 cards, the mana cost is 11, which is not really doable. And we don't really gain life. I guess like we could Venser the Conflagrate back to hand. That's a reasonable thing, but like we're also just like dying to the flyers. Honestly, we probably should trade Spellbinder for a flyer. I might even trade Spellstutter for a flyer too, honestly. We just want to take the least amount of damage possible. I should get a Conflagrate right now. Wow, this is an aggressive Conflagrate. That means they probably have 2 Conflagrate in their deck, which means we're probably in big trouble. But sure, so they're going to do that. And they've now discarded their entire hand, including a Narco, which honestly, if they had cast that Narco, it would be pretty reasonable. And now they're going to Ox also, sure. That makes sense. So this is gonna dredge most of their deck. I think our best chance to win this game is gonna be decking them. We should be just not dying. We'll see if we can pull that one off. Maybe. So they're going to Ox. They're going to exile some cards. They're going to dredge pretty much the rest of their deck. That triggers Prized Amalgam. The Ox goes off. I'm sure we'll see many more Amalgams here too. There's another Creeping Chill. There's a Bloodghast. Yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, so that's all 4 chills. And they have another Conflagrate too. Jeez. Brutal. Yeah, we're not very well set up for this matchup. Our deck is kind of slow and grindy, and we don't interact well with the graveyard, nor do we present a fast clock. Now we're 2. Did I like miscount a chill? Like, I think we're just dead. All right, I mean, block. I think we're pretty dead. We're going to go up. So we draw a Skyclave maybe. Mutavault. Yeah, we're just dead. So we can't even fetch for a blue source, cast Venser. Yeah, it's a tough game there. Definitely not does not appear to be a very good matchup for us in game 1. A lot of our cards just don't do anything. And we're going to board in, let's see, we're going to bring a Rest in Peace, obviously. I honestly kind of like Force Negation as a way to counter that Cathartic Reunion. And then I think Auriok Champion is pretty good too, actually. Just like keep us alive. I think our plan for winning is mostly going to be decking them. It's going to be just letting them do their thing and then just kind of like stopping them from doing their thing. And eventually they just die. You know, I don't think we need to like try and like actively win the game, which sounds a little silly, but I think we're going to have the clicks. Spellbinder and Clique don't seem very good. Wall of Omens can block. Spellstutter can counter enablers. Watcher's cheap at least. Soulherder, Skyclave's pretty cool. I think Venser's fine. Teferi just kind of like doesn't really do anything against them. And then Clique doesn't really do anything either against them. It decides to Narco. Same with Spellbinder. So we need to cut one more card here. I think Borrower is reasonable enough, just like buy time. Soulherder is good. Wall blocks, Bloodghast, and Amalgams pretty well. Venser, I mean, like bouncing spells is pretty cool. Like bouncing Conflagrate, things like that. Might just be like a Watcher for tomorrow or something like that. Spellstutter is probably fine. It's all about the play, that's for sure. All right, let's cut a Watcher for tomorrow. We've obviously like altered our deck a little bit, but it's just like how we have to play the matchup, I think, because we just can't really like win a straight up game. Our game 1 plan is like not good enough against them, you know. All right, pretty fine hand. We're gonna keep this. We have Auriok Champion. We have Force of Negation for Cathartic. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, looks like a Cathartic hand. Ephemerate too, cool. So play Auriok Champion. This will gain us a lot of life over the course of the game, which is great. Again, they are kind of like a burn deck. You know, they are with the Creeping Chills and the Conflagrates. You know, they put things in play and attack you, but realistically, you just start every game at 8 life, which is pretty rough. All right, we're going to see a Thrilling Discovery here, which will not discard the cards when we Force Negation it. We're going to exile here. Probably Soulherder. Maybe not. Soulherder isn't really doing anything. I guess it could flicker the Auriok Champion. All right, what's Cathartic? They pitch Ink and Ox. So we're going to Force Negation this. And what are we going to pitch is the big question. What are we going to pitch? They don't really have many 1-mana spells, honestly. We obviously don't have a land, though. Soulherder. I think it's Spellstutter Sprite. Let's keep the Soulherder. Hey! Alrighty then. Alright, so, I mean, start packing away. We have 2 Rest in Peace in our decks. We can't really rely on that. Dredge 5. They hit Amalgam and Bloodghast. That's not good. We do have a Skyclave, which is kind of good. And of course, Champion can block these. So need to draw land. Freaking Auriok Champion. Oh. Sorry, folks. I have very, very bad allergies. My sinuses are not particularly happy. They're going to Conflagrate for 0, which you could Spellstutter Sprite, but considering the spell has actual no effect, not much point in doing that. So this just puts the card in the graveyard. They want to use it later. They have Bloodghast Amalgam, which is fine. Always yes. Always yes. Always yes. I will gain the life I will. Alright, so City of Brass. They have another Cathartic here? No. Wait, why would they play Conflict for one? That makes sense. They can't Ox. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 cards for Ox. What are they doing here? Are they going to Conflagrate me? They're just going to cast Conflagrate. They're just going to empty their hand and Conflagrate me for 3. Okay. So they want to Ox next turn. What they're saying? Sure. That's fine. We're not going to Spellstutter Sprite because I don't think having a 1/1 play really matters. So, alright, untap. Didn't draw land, but it is a playable card, which is good at least. We get to hide away. I think we're going to hide away a land here because we kind of just need lands. So when this dies, we get a land. Yeah, it works for me. All right, and we just say go. Of course, the Auriok Champion can block the Amalgam safely. They're going to dredge 5 on Stinkweed. They had a Dark Blast, a Narco, and a Creeping Chill. Pretty good. Again, Auriok Champion is helping to undo the Creeping Chill damage, which is pretty important. Now they get to Ox, which is also pretty good. Yeah, missing our 3rd land drop here might do us in. We can Ephemerate the Watcher next turn, but I'm not sure if that'll be enough. We'll see what the Ox turns up. They have to exile their Dark Blast if they want to leave Conflagrate. Right now they're probably paying the cost for Ox. They're just figuring out what cards to exile. Yep. Now they're gonna leave a Dark Blast, not the Conflagrate. Interesting. So Ox will discard Stinkweed Imp. They'll start dredging. That's a chill. They had a Loam too, which is important. But now one Conflagrate is gone. Both Conflagrates are gone. That's great for us, honestly. Both Conflagrates are gone. Now they got to beat us with combat damage. And they've already used, what, 3 chills? 2 chills. So, not too bad. Not too bad. We're at 17. They're gonna Dark Blast my Watcher to give me my card. Sure, I mean, like, that does stop me from Ephemerating, I guess, but that's great. And I get the card, so. And now we can Skyclave probably just an Amalgam. We'll see what we draw. We get Soulherder going too, honestly. We just flicker our champion every turn. Gain a few life. Just get it in play so next turn I can flicker something else. All right, so we go to 15. Not too bad. Strand, sure. Get Island. So we Skyclave something here. I mean, they have Dark Blast. They can dredge some more cards. We could like Skyclave the Amalgam. Champion blocks the Ox. We take 4 damage from combat, which isn't really the worst. And then next turn we can Soulherder, Flicker Skyclave. Again, every token they get also gains his life too, which is kind of cool. That's like not ideal though. Maybe we just get Soulherder and play as a 2/2. Just gain 2 life, buy our time, then next turn we can Skyclave Ephemerate. That seems better. Play Herder, gain a life. End turn. I could have, actually I couldn't attack. Yeah, just die. So do that. Oh, as it count itself. Sure. So we didn't gain a life. So we only gained 1 life, not 2. Not bad. Both Creeping Chills. Okay. All right. Sure. Sure. So now all the chills are gone, and we're at 9 life points. Here comes the party. So now we put in a spot where we have to block. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coming across. We also want to keep Soulherder in play, if possible. Yeah, I mean, I think we just keep this in play. We just go to 2 here. They've already used all 4 chills now. All 4 chills and both conflagrates. So we take this and go to 2. Next turn, we're going to Skyclave, gain a life, Ephemerate, gain a life, Token, gain a life, Soulherder, gain a life, Token, gain a life, which is pretty good. And exile 2 of their things, too. So I think this is fine. I think we're going to go to 2 here. So they end turn. They don't add to the battlefield, which is good for us, too. All right, so untap and draw. Heath. All right, so we're going to... we're going to get a Plains. We're going to go 1 here. Scary stuff. All right, so we're going to play this. Let the champion resolve. Exile Prized Amalgam. It's always yes. Why is it not always yes? Always yes. Then now we're at 3. We'll respond to that with this. Get a Plains. So we're going to Ephemerate the Skyclave, as we were saying, with the trigger on the stack. So now it'll exile the thing and not give him a token. Now, I'll grow that. And now we're going to exile. Honestly, it might be the Flyers. Because the Flyers now are the things that will damage us, actually. So let's exile Narcomoeba. And this is all fine. Actually, no, I can't do that. I should drop auto yields. Nice, screwed up. All right, whatever. So I need to be able to respond to that later on. So that goes exiled. That gets exiled. And now we have a 5/5 to block with too. So we just say go. End step. We flicker the Skyclave. This is going to give them a 2/2, but gain us some life. And then we're going to also flicker the other Skyclave. Let's gain a life, gain a life. And now they have no Flyers. And we have a 7/7, a pro red thing, and a 2/2. And they're unable to do combat damage to us anymore for the most part until they get more things back. And now we're gaining a couple life each turn cycle. We have Spellstutter available as well. I think we're in good shape. I think. It's still close. You know, they still have double Prized Amalgam in the bin, but we're also ephemerating on our next turn as well, which is kind of cool. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. A little rebound action. Got to pad those stats. Sweet. That's the plan. It's not the bar plan against them is not to win, it's just not to lose. What are we thinking here? Yeah, I want to cut one of these Vensers and bring in the Watcher for tomorrow. Just lower our curve a little bit. Yeah, we can also just like draw Rested Beast. That'd be cool too, you know, make things a little easier on us. Is Venser better than Brazen Borrower? Borrower can block one of the Narcos, I guess. I think it is worse though. I never really Venser in. Because Venser we can like flicker and stuff. And bouncing their stuff is actually pretty effective. You bounce an Amalgam back to their hand, like, you know, they have to like get it back into the graveyard usually, or cast it, which are both pretty bad things. So, come on, really? One land. This is the perfect hand. We have Force of Negation. We've got Rest in Peace. We got Vials. Oh man. One of mulligan's 6. Yeah, I mean, like, turn his Vial into a land. His hand's actually perfect, but we got a mulligan here. All right, I guess we're gonna keep. I mean, we have Auriok Champion again. To put him mulligan's to 5. Champion's pretty good. As we saw that game. Champion probably gained us, 8 or 9 life that game, and won us the game. So. All right, so they mulligan to 5. They also have to like keep Rest in Peace in mind. So like they kind of, they need to. We didn't see any Nature's Claims, I guess. So I don't know. All right, so don't have a good Cathartic here. Tilt. All right, here they go. Ah, it's double amalgam. That's great for us. So no dredgers. Whew, thank God. Dredge certainly has a fail rate. Certainly has a fail rate. Wall of Omens. All right, pretty easy Auriok Champion here. Then next turn we have Mutavault plus Spellstutter to counter a 2-mana spell. Remember, of course, we can activate Mutavault. We can just tap it to activate it and then cast Spellstutter Sprite for an extra Faerie. Feeling pretty okay about this. They're just gonna concede. Oh, okay, sure. That's cool with me. I guess their hand was really, really, really bad, and they didn't want to slug through the champion against. That worked out pretty well. I felt like a pretty bad matchup, but definitely. And we also won it without Rest in Peace. You know, our sideboard cards came into play. Auriok Champion, Force of Negation, but Rest in Peace not necessary. Pretty cool. Pretty cool first match. I'm impressed. Color me impressed. All right, on the fly. I mean, it's not great, but I think we're gonna keep. We have Watcher, we have Spellstutter plus Mutavault. It's gonna keep. Put him all against 6. Put him all against 5. They go to 4. They're probably playing Toronto Dredge. All right, they're not. So just Island go. Good old Mutavault. Inspiring Vantage. Ooh, what's Inspiring Vantage mean? All right, untap. I mean, they didn't play a 1-drop, so leaving a Spellstutter on 1 feels kind of pointless. Just gonna play Watcher for tomorrow. One white. Godspeed you, Manatite player. Oh, they're playing the Nahiri Boom. Cool. That's probably not good for us. Sure. All right. I mean, we can't counter a Stone Rain. We could play a Wall of Omens, but we can't like do anything with it. We could Spellstutter for 2, which also might not be good enough. Yeah, I don't think leaving a Spellstutter Sprite's worth it. We're just gonna take the damage and play Wall of Omens. We have Ephemerate in hand, dude. If they have a Stone Rain here to kill my Hallowed Fountain, it sucks a little bit. Oh, that was great. That was a great draw. Oh boy. Now if they have Pillage, I might go after the Vial, not the land anyway. Battlefield Forge. Stone Range. On the Mutavault too. Alright, cool. Alright, Vial going up. Vendilion Clique. Alright, we're gonna cast that on their draw step. Yeah. All right. Now Spellstutter can counter a 2. I like Vendilion Clique a lot. I'm a big fan. It's fallen out of favor over the years. But wow. Our opponents are quick to concede today. So now this is not my list of this deck because I didn't play Battlefield Forge. I've played this. I call it Nahiri Boom. There's obviously other versions of red white land destruction, but I think mine's the best, obviously, just naturally. But I don't play Battlefield Forge, so all right. So I guess we're gonna bring in Force of Negation. That's probably it, honestly. If anything, it's gonna probably be a pretty good matchup for us. I mean, Aether Vial is great. And like we draw enough cards where we can draw out of a Stone Rain, you know, kind of thing. Skyclave doesn't seem particularly great against them. Again, I'm not exactly sure what they're playing as far as like what spells they're playing, but Clique, Soulherder, Spellstutter, Ephemerate, Teferi. Teferi seems solid. Spellbinder. Spellbinder seems good. Venser seems good. Freaking Manatite. Clique seems good. Maybe Soulherder is like a little soft. I guess the Wall of Omens are pretty bad. I mean, like, They're obviously just like hard draw engine, but like they're pretty bad. We have Watcher also. I'll shave one of those. I mean, the win condition in my Nahiri Boom deck is Nahiri, which is really good, obviously. Not all versions play that. Some play like more, like they try to be like more prison-y with like Magus of the Tabernacle and sneaky cards like that. But we're gonna mulligan here, unfortunately. Can't keep a one-lander. Sure, it's fine. And we're gonna shoot the Venser. Don't even have 2 blue yet, you know. Sacred Foundry, go. Force of Negation. All right. I mean, if you draw a blue card, we can defend ourselves a little bit. This seems like a very good Force of Negation deck. Deck definitely draws cards really well. So our fetch land stops them from booming us, which is pretty cool. And another Force of Negation that plays. Wall of Omens resolves instantly. No mana tithes here. That's a lot of Mutavaults. So they're going to pillage my Hallowed Fountain. We have to force this. We just can't cast spells otherwise. And we can just force this and then just Spellbinder for next spell. So obviously it's card disadvantage, but I think it's fine. Click, sure. So here's our first spell, our second Spellbinder. I cast it already. And their hand is Pillage, Oust. Guys, Goblin Dark Dwellers is their win condition of choice. Honestly, Dark Dwellers is the best card in their hand by like a lot, so sure. So now Dark Dwellers costs 2 more. And we've got a clock in play, which is great. They want to pillage us next turn, so be it. Just fire a Mutavault and attack. They're going to pillage my Hallowed Fountain again, sure. Playing the Cataract, sure. Not playing the Awakening, interesting. They could have also ousted. I think they could have ousted, never mind. Plains. Okay. I mean, sure. Make sure I tap the right one. Get in for a 5-ball. Attack for 7 next turn with the Mutavault, so it'd be hilarious to kill the land destruction deck with our lands, you know? Pillage the plane, sure. Play Awakening as a land, sure. This costs 5. That's a lot. Long way to go before they can play the Dark Dwellers. Watcher for tomorrow. We're playing Plains here, or are we playing Mutavault? Like, do we want to expose our plains? I think we're going to play Mutavault, so I go. Killing the land destruction deck with lands. It's a beautiful thing. All right. And they draw a Dark Dweller naturally. Storm Breath Dragon? What? Against our mostly white deck? Oh my god. And they drew a land too? Oh my god. That's devastating. All right. Stormbreath Dragon's going to get us. I'm not going to lie. Going into this league, I was not prepared to play against Stormbreath Dragon. I will tell you all that. All right. We're going to play Watcher for tomorrow, I guess. If they draw land, they can flash back there. They can play Dark Dwellers too. Wow. Wow. Ephemerate or lands. I might actually want the land, honestly. Yeah. All right. Oh boy. Freaking Stormbreath Dragon. Let me tell you. They drew a card that is not a land, but also reactive. Because they didn't just play it, which is kind of weird. We draw Ephemerate. I mean, that would allow us to gain access to this island, but it doesn't really do anything for us yet, so... They can also draw like a bolt or something, so... They're at 6? Could also just Ephemerate the Wall of Omens. We could be like really aggressive here, like Fireball Mutavault, just attack. But I'm gonna assume the card they drew is probably interactive, so I'm just gonna play Lance. I go. It's like a worst case here is they like draw land Dark Dwellers us, but like then we get to Ephemerate, rebound Ephemerate, and draw some cards. So let's see what they have here. What is going on? What? Freaking Stormbreath Dragon? Are you real? And they're gonna leave them both back on defense. How cowardly. Alright, we're gonna go for the Ephemerate. Just gonna get our island. Alright, so we get our card. We hide away again. More lands, jeez. Alright, we'll get another Watcher for tomorrow. And then we get to upkeep Ephemerate. Alright, it's really good, in case you're wondering. And I need to look at more cards. This time, a better selection. Wall of Omens, Ephemerate, Vendilion Clique, Mimic. I think it's just Ephemerate. And we draw the other Watcher. And we draw for turn. Soulherder. Soulherder is kind of nice, actually. We can't Soulherder and Watcher. And we can like Ephemerate. We could Soulherder, get the Ephemerate, get a new card. That seems fine. Like, I doubt they have a bolt at this point. They would just kill my thing before all this stuff happens. So, just play this. And there's no scoop. Yeah, I mean, like, nice Stormbreath Dragons, I guess. All right. Yeah, Nahiri is by far the win condition you want in your LD deck. You need a card that, like, wins the game. You know, Stormbreath Dragon, Goblin Dark Dwellers. These are all, like, cards that were, like, you know, good to okay in standard. If you want to see a good version of that land destruction deck, not saying my opponent's is bad, but I'm not trying to disparage my opponent, but I just think my version's good. Search for Nahiri Boom. I've done multiple videos on it, both on my own personal YouTube and here on the Cool Stuff YouTube. I think it deck's great. I've played it a lot, and I've always done pretty well with it. It's been a deck that always surprises me whenever I play it very, very pleasantly. All right, 2-0 on the play. And it's probably companion choice here for our opponent. So what this pause is. We blinking. Yep, there's Luris. And our hand is great. We're going to keep. All right, and I guess we're just going to play a Plains. I feel like we could be playing less Fetch Shocks, honestly. Like, we don't really gain any life, and like we want to play a longer game, so like, you know, our life total definitely matters over a long period of turns. Verdant Catacombs, sure. I mean, this is like a Thoughtseize deck. Like, our deck definitely grinds really, really well. So, Skyclave is also phenomenal against Shadow decks. Yeah, this is pretty cool for us. Like, what do they take here? All these cards are great. Like, Skyclave's probably one of the best cards in the format against the Shadow decks. Just like kill their insane threat, give them a 1/1. Super good. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the blank comes for you? Terrible TV show. Still a line here. They are tanking. In the tank. Jeez. I wish there was a blue-white Canopy land. Hopefully they'll finish the Canopy cycle in Modern Horizons too. They've already done some of the previews. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. My article last week on CoolStuffInc.com was all about the cards I want to see in Modern Horizons, I think, right? Yeah, that's what I want. That's my article. It's 10 cards I want to see in Modern Horizons. They choose Teferi, which is also pretty good against them. We go up. We play Soulherder. Dope. We're just going to Mutavault and play Wall of Omens here. Draw another card. Great. Just say go. Just say go. All right, so they're playing green, so they're also probably Tarmogoyf deck. They have Thoughtseize also, sure. We have two good ones. Take Soulherder, sure. All right, Vial goes up. Another land. Right. I mean, so this is a spot where, like, we could attack for 2 Mutavault. I'm going to assume they're a Shadow deck, though, and just not do that. We're not going to win through chip shot damage. We're going to win the long game. And enabling their shadows earlier is just plays into their plan. So we're not going to attack there. Thoughtseize again. All right, you got me. My hand is gone. You got them all. They're all gone. The good news is this deck draws cards really, really well. So we hopefully draw out of us. They're Shock to 11, sure. And play Tarmogoyf, sure. That's fun. Untap. Now shadow spells, basically. File stays on 3. Or not draw spells, you know, whatever. It's fine. We will need to draw some spells to win the game. For sure. If the game's going to be triple discard, and then we never draw a spell, can't win that game. Can't win that game. Take 4. I mean, like, this has 0 chance of success, right? Because anything is an instant, I would just play it. Anything I would have cast, and I have a Vial in play too. So, like, sure, I guess. Nothing doing. End step. Get the other Hallowed Fountain. Draw. We're gonna always know on this now at this point because we 3 we're gonna stop. We draw Wall of Omens. Cool. We're not gonna tap the Mutavault. We might need a block with that, maybe if we're feeling desperate. All right, and I guess. So like the options now are like to play Strand and crack it for like deck thinning, but like I'm not sure if it's worth 1 point here because we're being raced. So just play land and just say go. Might just throw the Mutavault under the bus here. I think preserving our life total is probably pretty important. You have a lot of cards in hand, honestly. I think we take 4 here. This is fine. We'll go to 9. All right, another Tarmogoyf, sure. That's magic for you sometimes, I guess. That's definitely magic for you sometimes. Just incapable of drawing a spell after being Thoughtseize 3 times. 4 times, actually. But I didn't have enough spells for the 4th one. This is stupid. Playing 21 lands, too. Even like a Glasspool Mimic would be fine here. I should be like actively good. All right, yeah. I mean... Now there's an instant in the bin too. All right, we're gonna attempt to fire up Mutavault and block here. I mean, pretty depressing game Magic. No blocks. Go to 4. We need to have this in play for a lot of our cards to actually work. So I should have Battle Rage too. All right, whatever. All right, pretty uneventful, lame game of Magic of just never drawing a spell. That's okay though. We're gonna bring in our On Thin Ice, Auriok Champion, rest in peace, maybe. Like, if we're playing Battle Rage, they're definitely playing Shadow, like 100%. So Champion does seem pretty good in that regard. What do we think is bad? What do we think is bad? Spellbinder's just kind of bad against them, honestly. I like throw this card. I think Aspiring Spike might have cut it from a future version of a deck, but I don't think Clique is super great against them either. I think I want all of these cards, honestly. And then like Borrower's fine, Soulherder's good, Faerie. It's like Wall of Omens like is like part of our engine, but like isn't great against them. Spellstutter Sprite's phenomenal against them. That's for sure. 21. I could even see it cutting a land, honestly. Because, like, we'll draw spells eventually. We have 4 vials, too, so. I guess we don't draw a vial. It's kind of awkward. We just, like, draw so many cards, though, you know? I guess Venser's probably just, like, too expensive. All of our things are so cheap. So that makes cards like Skyclave and Spellstutter really, really good. But things like Spellbinder and Venser are like pretty unexciting. So we cut like 2 walls maybe. I cut a wall. I'm just gonna cut a wall on a land. I'm gonna cut like one of the fetches. So we'll have 22 lands, including our things. The thing is that when you get Thoughtseize a million times, you just have time to draw out of it, obviously. So maybe I should cut the Seachrome Coast because we want to have. Well, we'll have a snow covered land. I don't think it's going to be a problem, actually. I got a Mutavault. Mutavault's like not really sized well to actually do anything, and we don't need it to make Spellstutter Sprite good. I kind of like this, actually. Let's try this. All right, on the play. This game will draw spells, I swear. I swear to you. Swear to me. All right. Good hand. We like it. We like it. There's Lurrus. We're going to keep. So we could Glasspool on one. I think against a normal deck, I would Glasspool on one here. But because they're playing a million Thoughtseizes, which one of our spells, we can always go wall on 2, Watcher on 3 with tap land if we need the land. And then if we draw land here, we have extra spell too. So I'm just going to play the Heath and get a duel. Catacombs. Crack. Thoughtseize or Inquisition? Neither. Neither, they say. Okay. Hex Drinker, not a problem. Plenty of answers to that one. We draw another on thin ice, sure. So we're gonna wall here because I want to actively draw a card, trying to make a land drop next turn. Cool. Now we can Skyclave, we can thin ice, we can do all sorts of stuff. One red in the pool. Dismember my Wall of Omens. Sure. Hit a shadow here too. Look at this insano draw. Good thing our hand's just great. It doesn't matter. Auriok Champion? That's kind of awkward. We could like Watcher Auriok Champion or Watcher on thin ice here. It's awkward because the champion checks the shadow. You can just Skyclave the shadow too. Doesn't really set us up well for next turn. I really want to get this champion in play. We can just like land champion, honestly. Yeah, I'm just gonna play champion. Champion's obviously really, really good. Check shadow, and now it'll gain life for the rest of the game. And they can't really remove it, I assume. So they have like Pyrite Spell Bomb or something stupid like that. Which is possible because they have lures, but Stamping Ground untapped. Am I dead to Battle Rage here, am I? No. Maybe 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's good. Another Hex Drinker. Okay. And a Tarmogoyf. Wow. Super, super threat heavy hand. A white source? Soulherder. Okay. So we can just like double Thin Ice here, I guess. Thin Ice Tarmogoyf, Thin Ice Hex Drinker. I get Thin Ice Tarmogoyf and just play Watcher. We can't die to Battle Rage on the Shadow. That's the big problem. So Battle Rage obviously trample over the champion. And we're like a little jammed on like trying to play everything here. It's definitely going to be a land. Skyclave, take Tarmogoyf. You can just block the Hex Drinker also, honestly. I don't mind blocking Hex Drinker at all. Very different game than the last game, that's for sure. Super threat heavy, not a lot of interaction. Sorry, folks. The allergies is just always coming for you. Our double blue sources in play are pretty awkward. I mean, next turn we can just like Thin Ice Watcher, so that's pretty good too. All right, so no shock land, fetch lands, whatever to make this shadow bigger, which is good for us. Pretty easy block here, I think. Gain a life. Cool. Next turn's Thin Ice. See what else they do. Another Tarmogoyf, sure. Tarmogoyfs for days. Yeah, Skyclave's really good in this deck. Like, really, really good. And Pump Hex Drinker, sure. And play land. And shock. And Pump Hex Drinker, sure. No pump. They leave a black up. So probably have push. That's or bolt, I guess. So we're gonna Thin Ice Watcher. Put the other island. I doubt they would like kill a land, but just in case. The thinnest device here. And next turn we'll take 2. If they have like fetch, shock, battle rage, we're dead. Maybe you know what? Maybe I should have like left the. Because I'm just like letting myself be dead to battle rage here. Well, I don't need to be doing that. That might be a mistake. I might have screwed up. I might be taking unnecessary risks here. I could have just like Thin Ice the shadow. They're going to push my Watcher. So that means that we'll never get this card. So that's fine. But now they're out of cards. And then we also had them red for a push, but like they can just draw Battle Rage and kill us, which is pretty bad. So I think that leaving the shadow in play was probably a mistake. Should probably leave like the Tarmogoyf in play, I guess. All right, they put Lurrus in their hand. Thoughtseize. All right. They're at 4 now. We're in a bit of trouble here. That's not really that good. I mean, yeah, we're in big trouble here. We're in big trouble here. Can we just say go? I think we need to draw a good Ephemerate target. We could like attack for 1 and Ephemerate their champion, but like they're 4, it's not enough to get them. All right. So they have Lurrus and Hexdrinker this turn. Yes, pretty bad. Good spell. It's a spell. I mean, like, it's not the worst. All of our blue sources here are kind of killing us. I don't know, it's not like killing us, but they're going to Ephemerate up. So they can start pumping this Hexdrinker up. Good news is there's nothing in the graveyard for Lurrus anymore. It's not like they have a bauble or something like that. They're like gaining value every turn. It's gonna have pro instance. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition would be where it's at for sure. Next turn it'll be a Progenitus, so it probably needs to draw it this turn. All right. Big draw step, folks. That is a Spellstutter Sprite. You are way too late to the party. All right, and now we're just dead to his Hexdrinker, I think. That's not cool. And then they have no reason to play a spell anymore because they're just going to pump this thing. Yeah, that's pretty tough. It feels like it should be a bad matchup for us. Oh, your bobble too. That's sick. It doesn't matter. I could have countered it, but like they would get it back anyway. So yeah, I mean, again, this feels like it should be a fine matchup for us realistically because like all our cards line up pretty well. But I mean, I think we're gonna play this game better maybe. Thoughtseize puts them to 2. I wish I could counter it. Or I wish I could play Spellstutter and not counter with Thoughtseize. Like, put them to 2 and like have a chance to win this game. Like with them at 2, I feel like we actually have a chance to win. We can like push through both champions and win the game. Also, Spellstutter can attack for 1. If they have to take Spellstutter here, like, they took Ephemerate? Okay. They just, I mean, they still have a card left, I guess, but they didn't kill themselves, did they? Bobble, sure. You bobbled me again? There, you're not my top card. Don't bobble yourself. I think they're freaking out. I think they realize they're 2 life. These shadow decks, you know, they're always on the edge of a knife, you know? Play with fire. All right, here they come. So, gets in for 4. Maybe, no. Never scared because they just die to you know, we do a top deck here. Play the Spellstutter Sprite. These things are unblockable except by these 2. So pretty sure we're just casting Spellstutter Sprite and winning the game in 2 turns once they draw an answer. They're drawing a card off Bobble now. They are drawing 2 cards each turn with Bobble, so like that's like not ideal, but alright, they're coming in. I guess they're drawing 2 cards next turn because of the Bobble, so alright, no blocks. We gained 2 here, also, which is kind of cool. All right, they get 2 draws here. We draw. Big draw. Hey. Okay, that's like not the worst, I guess. All right, I mean, Spellstutter Sprite, come on down. We could attack with everything here, but if they have our move spell for Spellstutter Sprite, we just lose the game on the spot, and they have 3 cards in hand. It's not worth it. With another champion now too. So now we have 3 more life. We have 3 blockers. We have 3 potential lethal attackers also. So all right, you're up. End step. Red, red, black. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? How lucky can you be? They drew Kozilek's Return off of their freaking bobble. All right. They got us. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like it should be a good matchup, but who knows? Obviously, game 1 was kind of silly, and then that game just didn't really play out in our favor. I suppose drawing Kozilek's Return off their bobbles, we have our 3 copies of Auriok Champion in play. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, 2-1. 2-1. All right. Can keep here on the play. Just get a Plains, probably. Opponent mulligan 6. We got our Vial. We got our Teferi. I think he's looking pretty good. Plains it up. Vial it up. Eldrazi Temple. Expedition map. Okay. I mean, sure. This is... I don't know if it's good or bad for us. I have no idea, honestly. I mean, Spellstutter can counter Chalice in the Void. It's probably like fine for us, I guess. I don't have a good start. All right, well, they don't have Tron. That's cool. All right. Go get Hallowed Fountain. Spellstutter not really good against them otherwise, aside from what's it called? So sure. They're gonna map for probably on the temple, I would assume. Nope, power plant. Interesting. Means they probably don't have Reality Smasher in their hand. Another Vial. We're just going to leave up Clique plus Spellstutter Sprite. So we're just going to click them on their draw step. See what's up. All right, their hand is another Temple, Chalice of the Void, Thought-Knot Seer, Dismember, Karn. Ooh, it's like a really, really stocked hand. Pretty clunky, though. Pretty clunky. I think we're pretty happy to take Thought-Knot Seer here. Dismember's kind of whatever. We can counter Chalice of the Void with our Spellstutter Sprite. Their mana off of Karn and Ugin. They don't have Tron yet. Dismember's kind of whatever. Yeah, pretty easy Thought-Knot Seer, I think. All right, so we have Venser too. I mean, Ephemerate and Venser against them is actually pretty awesome. We draw Venser. Dismember my Clique. Okay. Play Chalice on 1, 2. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'm dumb. Okay, so the CMC while it's in their hand is 0, but on the stack it's 1. I should have just realized that. That's okay. I screwed up. All right, that turns off our Ephemerates. We have the thing that removes it too, though, so it's not that bad. All right, so we're gonna go. They have Karn for Vial. That's pretty gross. Vial's gonna go up. We're gonna draw another Clique. It's pretty good. We could like click them. Venser the Clique, click them again. I mean Teferi the Clique. That's like over 2 turns though. We get Teferi bounce on Chalice. That's not like particularly useful. We could set up for Teferi next turn Venser bounce Venser and draw land to do that, but if Karn, Ugin, Temple, and another card. Clicking them is obviously very appealing. Because they only have so many actual threats. I think we're at Teferi plus and Venser on their draw step. A Venser click. So their hand is Karn, Ugin, Radiant Fountain Temple. So take the card they can cast. Hope I don't draw another good one. And then we can start bouncing their lands, honestly, with the Venser, if we can get that going. Putting Vial to 4 is like devastatingly bad for us, though, because it means that the Vial is worthless for the rest of the game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but we can always bounce click and just click them again, honestly. All right, we're gonna stay on 3. So if we draw a land, we can bounce click them and Venser their land too. So I'll say no. Wall of Omens. All right, attack. All right, we're going to Teferi bounce our click and try and draw a 4th land here. We did not draw a 4th land. We drew a Brazen Borrower, which honestly isn't that bad. And now we're going to cast Wall of Omens. And draw a land right on time. Sure. All right, we'll just draw step click again. All is Dust, Reality Smasher. Radiant. All right, so the All is Dust 2, 4, 5, 6 is castable this turn. So we just gotta get rid of all is Dust. They can Smasher us, but whatever. It's honestly not that bad. We can also just bounce it. So yeah, get rid of all is Dust. They play Smasher, we can Petty Theft it, discard the Aether Vial, it's not a problem. Or they'll just draw a Natural Tron, that's good too, I guess. Okay. All right, they're going to exile our top card, sure. I guess we are mostly fighting in the air anyway. There's a Smasher. All right, I mean, now we're trying to win the race. Venser will certainly help do that. Teferi again. I wish I could Vial in off the... Maybe I should have gone up there, actually, because now the game is nearing a close. I think I might have screwed up. I think I should have gone up on the Vial there. The game is nearing conclusion. So, like, I could have just put the Vial on 4, use Vial for Venser, and hardcast Brazen Borrower. That might have been better. You definitely need to leave Venser up. Attacking Ugin like doesn't even like finish it off. I think we just try and kill them. So I would like to cast Venser and Borrower this turn. Yeah, that was a mistake, I think. It's like an easy mistake to make because like we obviously locked ourselves in on 3, but I think the situation has changed where the game's gonna end soon. So we could just go to 4, just like throw our Vial away for 1 turn of tempo. I think that was a mistake. Okay. I'm just gonna attack them. I don't really care about Ugin. Attack them. And we're going to just Venser. Not use our Vial for a turn. The next turn we have Teferi bounce. Yeah, I really should have gone up on that Vial. Here. So they go to 7. They'll probably pre-combat the Smasher, which means we can just bounce it. Destroy the Vendilion Clique. I can actually bounce the Clique here and re-click them. And just give up to Teferi. The Clique's pretty important as far as offense. I think I'm going to do that. They can like replay an Ugin, but I don't think it's like the end of the world. I could also just like take the Ugin. Yeah, this is a pretty. So now this like open up a different play for us. I didn't think they would do this, so. They really want to smash our. This is all responsive to triggers, so they can't even play a spell too, which is cool. Modern's pretty sweet. Modern's pretty sweet. Their hand is Smasher and another Ugin. So we'll take the other Ugin and leave him with Smasher and hope they don't draw a good card, basically. Okay. So they want a Smasher, attack Teferi. I don't really care that much about Teferi, and now we still have damage in the air. They're not going to play Smasher. Radiant Fountain. Okay. So what did they draw off? Okay, defensive Smasher? Sure. Matter Shaper? Sure. Always the powerful Matter Shaper, you know? The raw power. The unrefined, awe-inspiring power of Matter Shaper. All right. And now we've just got like most things done here. We might actually just kill this Ugin. Start by bouncing Smasher. See what we draw. Oh, we can't guess that yet. We can Skyclave the Chalice though. Okay, so Vial, Ephemerate, Teferi, it's all pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna kill Ugin, attack them. We're going to play a new Teferi. Bounce, I guess, Matter Reshaper. Trust Spellbinder. It doesn't really matter. It's not so much mana. So we just say go with the ability to Ephemerate the Chalice. And then Ephemerate something else. I think you're just pretty dead, honestly. So I guess I can Ephemerate Venser, right? So I could like Skyclave the Chalice, Ephemerate Venser, and bounce their Thought Seer for the 1000th time. Deck's got a lot of lines. Deck's got a lot of lines. Deck's got more lines than a Geometry Chest. What is this? 11 mana? 10 mana? All right, so this is great. So they're going to cast a Ballista. We're going to just bounce it with Venser. So we're going to Skyclave, hit this. Ephemerate. Venser. Now we bounce the Ballista. They can play Smasher, but the rebound and Ephemerate will just bounce it again anyway. And then we can like... I mean, the Ballista might still get us, honestly, like next turn. We'll see what we draw, but... No, they should play Ballista for 1? Wow. What a cowardly play. Like, they can just wait till next turn, you know? Wait till next turn, and... wait till next turn and just like replay it again for 1 million. They could have played Smasher there. That's weird. All right, so rebound on the stack. What do I want to rebound? They're going to shoot my Clique, probably. What do I want to target with this rebound on Ephemerate? Spellbinder, I mean, they have 1 million mana in play. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Probably target the Wall of Omens, I guess. Targeting the Venser doesn't really do anything. I don't really want to bounce the Spirit anyway, so let's target the Wall of Omens. Well, this is really good against us. Like, really, really good. Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. Draw. Soulherder. It's kind of gas. Okay. Let's plus this. Let's tack. Only in the air. I don't want this spirit to die. See what their plans are for this. Oh, their plans are nothing? Interesting. I mean, like, so they just want to wait till next turn to pump this thing up, I guess. They're at 4 now. Soulherder obviously forced the issue on that, which is pretty cool. I guess we're going to Spellbinder also, so... And we'll say go. Right. All right, and then we're going to... That's fine. Just don't have another Ballista. Draw step. We're going to Spellbinder them. Like, there certainly are possible big plays if I draw All's Dust gets a good one too, but Karn, Reshaper, Smashers. Take Karn. Karn's pretty good here too, honestly. Karn costs 6. And like, now what do they get? Ensnaring Bridge, like, we can deal with pretty easily. We have tons of ways to kill Ensnaring Bridge. Another Ballista. I mean, probably pretty sad if we lose this game. We were like really, really far ahead. All right. Turns our Vial off too. Gross. All right. I think we just send everything at Karn. What a freaking slugfest. Jeez. I send everything at them. They just kill the 2/3/1 flyers, and then they just don't die, and they have full rain next turn. So Karn's on 3. It is killable right now. They can block with a spirit, and then shoot here, shoot here. Karn still dies. So the Ballista has to block also. This guarantees Karn's death. Also, want to lose the Ballista, which is also a total win for us. All right, cool. Hope this card isn't good. It's been down there for a long time. Shoot the Spellbinder. Yep. Yep. Oh, they're trying to kill everything. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's gonna die anyway, so sure. All right, so yeah, hopefully that card isn't good. Now we have Borrower, Watcher, Spellstutter Sprite. I mean, Spellstutter can't hit like anything in their deck, so we're gonna play Watcher here. And I guess I screwed up. I should have left up Brazen Borrower. All right, sure, maybe, I don't even know. They have Smasher, Reshape. They can get another card from the sideboard too. The Tron's killing us here. They just have so much mana. I felt like we were so far ahead this game. Sky Sovereign. Targeting Venser. Okay. You have Smasher to kill my Teferi too. Yeah, we're getting rocked this game. Felt like we had it all too. Really felt like we had it all. Those Ballistas really wrecked us. I don't think it's worth chucking the Wall of Omens away because like Teferi won't be able to bounce anyway. Heh, I guess I screwed up. So they actually played a card that could have Spellstutter Sprite. I was just trying to save time. My clock's pretty low. Man, talk about all falling apart here. The boat's just gonna destroy us too. They can't even crew the boat. All right, we're going to the next game. Wow, that was not good. That was not good at all. We were like actually really in that game. So like normally I wouldn't bring in a card like Damping Sphere against Eldrazi Tron because like they're not really as Tron-y as Tron is, but at the same time, like if they get Tron, we're just like in trouble, I guess. Like it's bad for us too, because like we want to cast multiple spells every time. I don't think you want this. I don't think you want anything, honestly. I wish we had like some ceremonious protections or like some way to like deal with their cards. Like Force of Negation is probably coming in, I guess. A lot of our cards are bad. Like the Spellstutter Sprites are just really, really bad against them. I'm just concerned Damping Sphere hurts us too. On Thin Ice is like, it's okay, but it's really risky because they can all its dust. They have plenty of ways. They can Blast Zone. Like there's a lot of ways they can remove it. Guess we want these. Spellbinder. It's like good if I don't have Tron, but it's bad otherwise. A Clique. Wall of Omens. Wall of Omens is not really ideal either. We gotta like keep our engine cards though. Skyclave's also not great. We shave a Skyclave. Oh hell. Shave a wall, I guess. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Oh, like we were cakewalking that game too. Like we were just getting them on all fronts, but they just the problem was that the turn they just naturally drew Tron. Obviously, it was off our click. They had drawn a decent amount of cards that game, but like the turn they just drew like spiked the Tron land was the turn the game ended. Like we were doing great up until that point. Maybe we'll look into 5. Maybe I'll look into 5. Yes. Good. I don't like a stupid deck. Hate Eldrazi Drone. Watching for tomorrow's. Looking for a Mimic. Next we have Teferi. Temple, sure. Matter Shaper, sure. Force Negation, that's nice. Checking the Planeswalkers is pretty important, so. Teferi. Bounce. Damping Sphere, can't file that one in. Sure. Doesn't actually do anything yet. Like it impedes us more than it impedes them. I guess it turns off Temple, but no Thought-Knots here. How generous of them. How generous of them. Gonna start by attacking and see what they do. Pretty appealing spot for them to trade. Right. Now we'll see what they hit off this and play our turn accordingly. They reveal a map. Sicko. All right, sure. We get our... So now I could Venser a land and then copy Venser a land. I would lose the Mimic, but double bouncing 2 lands here is pretty busted. And then we still have Force up. We still have Faerie going. That's what we're going to do, I think. They can just play Temple again, so bounce Tron lands. I want to keep the actual Venser, I think. So if I flicker it later, yeah, I'll keep the actual Venser. Bounce that. Venser's the nut. All right. So set them back decently far. Have a borrower too, so play another Matter Shaper, not a problem. Oh, I hit the wrong button. No. All right. Clearly did not mean to go up my vial there. That's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. All right. Just like petty theft Matter Shaper, I guess. Say go with Force of Negation up. God, that's just terrible. I could like bounce Teferi now and then vial it in, I guess, but like that's like not necessary. Yeah, it's just terrible misclick. I mean, just like stupid, but whatever. All right. Petty theft. Hardcast Force of Negation is up. We could also hardcast the Borrower too if we need to. We'll see what they do. Oh man, killing me, Smalls. Killing me. Power plant, yeah. Thought Knot Seer, gross. Now you can take the Damping Spear. All right. So you probably just chuck Teferi here and bounce Thought Knot Seer and draw another card. God, why isn't my vial on 3? Why aren't you on 3? All right. Bounce this. Ephemerate. Oh, daddy. Aether Vial. Okay. Now I can Ephemerate the Venser and bounce a land. That's pretty good. That's a path. That's certainly a path to victory. So we can't Ephemerate and leave up Force Negation. We can click them. Obviously, if they have Thought Knot Seer in their hand, they can just Thought Knot Seer us. In which case, I'll want to click as well. So you should probably just Ephemerate. You should probably just click them first to see what's up, actually. Just start there. I think I want to do this now and not in their draw step, because I want to see what's going on before I make a play. There's a chance we double Ephemerate the click, so let's see what's up. Thought Knot, Matter Shaper, and lands. So their hand sucks. So actually, now we're just going to leave it. And now I might actually not even... I'm not even going to bother bouncing a land. Mine, Power Plant. They should have a Natural Tron again. I hate Eldrazi Tron so much. I hate it. So if I bounce we don't really care if they Thought Knot Seer, Matter Shaper us. Is that turn that bad for us? Because we're winning the game in 2 turns in the air. And I can just bounce. I can Venser, bounce Thought Knot, and draw another card too. And Force Negation. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this. So if their turn is Matter Shaper plus Venser, is that okay? Or should I just bounce a land here and force them to only Thought Knot Seer? I guess fine. Well, no, because then if they Seer, I just bounce Seer again. So actually, yeah, I should bounce a land here. All right, let's Ephemerate. And bounce Tron land. And just say go. Play Tron land back again. Play Thought Knot Seer, take Force of Negation. Then we Ephemerate the Venser, bounce Thought Knot again, act for 4, and then they'll have Tron. We're also draw 2 cards too, though, so They just drew Warping Whale, and they're gonna Warping Whale my Vendilion Clique. Okay, sure, I guess. So rebound. I guess targeting Venser. I mean, like, I'd rather bounce a alignment attack for 2, so. And then this one's gonna go up, yes. Draw. Alright. I mean, we're really like living on the edge here. We really are a little flooded on vials and lands. We're kind of like just chilling, but you know, this borrower, kind of all in on this borrower here, I'm not gonna lie. And they're pretty close to having Tron again. Or I guess for the first time. They thought not here. Sure. Alright. So we need to draw a good card, basically. Simple as that. I'm a little surprised we're not drawing. I thought this would be drawing fistfuls of cards. We're kind of like not. Let's just start. Do we Vial or just cast it? Probably just Vial. Is there like a card we want to Vial and that costs 2? It's like tricky. Not really. All right. I'm pretty worried about the future. I'm not gonna lie. And they have 6 cards. We know that their cards are Reshaper, 4 lands, and a new card. Yeah, a lot of lands for sure. I mean, we're playing like 21 lands, and this is there's your Natural Tron. There's your Natural Tron Matter Reshaper, the signature play of Eldrazi Tron. They could have just like not draw anything. I mean, their hand is literally like 4 lands and a spell. Yeah, it's just freaking another map too. So Borrower's got to cross the finish line here. That's how it's gonna work. Chalice on. I guess the tower. Okay, sure. Sure. That turns off like our 4. We have 3 Ephemerates left. That's it. So untap. All right. Go to 3. Draw. Skyclave Apparition. Doesn't actually do much. I guess we can like hit the Thought Knots here and just like draw a card. Oh, that actually kills them. Never mind. I'm lying. So we can attack with the Mutavault too. Clock's really low. Holy crap! This deck is takes a long time to play. All right, so we have 4 minutes for game 3. Yeah, this is like a lot of actions. You know, this deck does not win fast. That's for sure. All right. I kind of want this Wall of Omens back. I feel like we're just not drawing enough cards. You know, like a lot of these games we kind of just been flooded. The flyers seem really important though. Borrower seems pretty important. Soulherder. I mean, everything else seems pretty. The Damping Sphere is so like, it's like not thrilled about Damping Sphere. I'm gonna cut one of the damping. I never want to draw 2. That's for sure. I mean, like we are able to keep them off Tron, like kind of too. So I'm just gonna do this. I gotta go fast too. So, all right, sure. A little thin, but sure. Opponent mulligan 6. Map. Hopefully no second Tron land. All right, sure. Force of Negation? That's not the worst. Map for another temple. All right, so they have a smasher. Smasher's pretty good on turn 3 on the play. Don't really have a clean answer to that one just yet. We do have... Oh, they've done us here. Sure. That's pretty annoying, but okay. We have... I mean, they're probably take Soulherder here. We have Watcher, Ephemerate, Force of Negation, which is pretty good, so... Guess who's back? Back again. All right, so now we just play land and say go with a Force of Negation Ephemerate up. Triple Eldrazi Temple, jeez. Another Thought Knots here. God, that's really annoying. All right, we can Ephemerate our wall here, and then the rebound will Ephemerate this. Okay, give us our Soulherder. Tilt. All right, sure, that's fun. A Ballista. Okay. Ballista's really freaking good. That screws everything up. Unless... No way. This would be so awesome if they kill this. Oh my god, that's great for us. Alright, that's fizzles. Vial goes up. Flooded Strand. Alright. We really draw a lot of lands. Please stop with Smasher. Oh man, they have a sicko hand here. Whatever. I think we're dead. This is 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 13. I mean, like, we just have to take this. Like, we can't, our engine is in play right now. We can't remove it. I didn't crack the fetch, whatever. I mean, Soulherder is great and all, but I don't know if that matters or not. Can't target the same thing twice. So I exile this one, so that flickers. Grows that. It's gotta be good. Oh no, Venser! That's the one card we can't play. Oh. Another Smasher? What is us? Evolves us too. All right, that was a pretty sick hand from our opponent. I think we're dead, right? I think we're not dead, actually. We can like make some blocks. Too many freaking lands, you know? All right, this has got to be good. All right, whatever. All right, you got me. All right, tough match there. I mean, like, I think we threw away that first game. I think if we had the foresight to make the clutch play of putting that vial up to 4, we would have won that game, and we would have won before they had time to draw Natural Tron. That game was a freaking joke, obviously. But it does feel like the matchup's pretty bad for us. We just don't have a lot of ways to interact with them, and a lot of our cards like Spellbinder and Spellstutter Sprite just aren't bad against. Just bad against them. And then Walking Ballista is just like an unbelievable house. So now we're 2-2. I mean, like, it definitely feels like we could have beaten them. You know, I definitely screwed up game 1. That last game was just like we just drew 8 lands, and they just drew like the thought smash or whatever draw. The game before it, we kind of drew a lot of lands too. I don't understand why we're just drawing so many lands, honestly. Like, we have 21 lands, and 4 of them are Mutavault, so 4 of them are like also spells. I really feel like we'd be drawing so many lands, so many cards in this deck. We can't keep this. Even on the play, like Mimic plus land to Spellstutter Sprite. Or should mulligan. That's a lot better. Keep this. Keep this. I'm gonna ship one of the sprites. Yeah, we're not like, there's no guarantee the Sprite's going to be good. And put them all against the 4. Jeez. All right, we're going to play Mutavault. Probably fetch a duel next turn. We'll see what they do. See what they do. All right. Sure. All into 4 makes you think they're playing natural Tron. I mean not like regular Tron, like good Tron. We're just gonna say go here because we can like wall off the Vial next turn. And like if they're playing regular Tron, they have like stars and spheres and stuff. That's a natural Tron. That's freaking sicko. Oops. That sucks. I can't actually do everything I want to do. We just say go. All right. And now we can't even use our Vial. Oh. They get a liquid metal here. We can actually counter it. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Who said Spellstutter Sprite wasn't good, huh? Who said Spellstutter Sprite wasn't good? Now I can kill Karn, too. Oh, man. We're, like, turning it around here, folks. To think I was worried. To think I was worried. They just love Tron, obviously. So that's like not good for us, but three cards left. Our Vial is released. We have Ephemerate on Spellstutter for a counter on 2. Oh, they are green Tron. Chromatic Star. Yeah, we're gonna counter that. Oh. All right. Exiles a card from my hand. Karn goes to 10. An unassailable 10. All right. I think we're just gonna violent Skyclave here and just try and get our beats on. This is a pretty bad spot, I'm not gonna lie. Tron just eats decks like this alive. Decks that are just like kind of slow and dirtily, just eats them for breakfast. Like actual Tron. All right. Oh, there's no auto yields. Rebound. Yo, bro. Yeah, like if you're playing, if you want to beat Tron, you don't really want the card Wall of Omens in your deck, you know. All right, so Venser's actually the card that's like really good against them. The problem is like we don't have any way to like really utilize it super well. We can attack Karn for 5. Bouncing Karn doesn't do anything, so let's play it again. Bouncing a Tron doesn't do anything. We saw Ephemerate, that'd be good. I think we just like play wall here and hope. If they have a second big spell, we're dead. Play wall, hopefully draw a 3-drop, and then or another vial, sure. And it's act Karn. It just feels awful, but just such a losing battle attacking Karn with like tiny creatures. Yeah. Maybe Spreading Seas is a possible card. Oblivion's whatever. I mean, I guess that kills their Tron, their Karn too, right? All right, I guess. I mean, it's just show 20 life. Oh my god. Oh, you're killing me. Well, we could Venser that back to their hand, but I don't think it's gonna be very effective. Yeah, this is like a nightmare. All right, bring in all these. And we're gonna cut the. I mean, Skyclave is terrible. Spellstutter is actually pretty good against red green Tron because you can count off of spheres and stars and stuff. Teferi seems pretty bad. We're just like not aggressive enough to really pressure them. All right, I feel like it's all on Venser. Venser's got a big load to carry here. Damping Sphere, 1 land. All right. All right, sure. And we're gonna keep Watcher, Soulherder. Spellbinder's like so like mopey against them. I'm just whatever. I'm just gonna hope their hand's bad. We really don't have much of a choice here. Just like Watcher and a Soulherder and hope it's good enough. Opponent mulligans a 5. Opponent's definitely a good Tron player. They're just like firing off these mulligans like really fast, which is very smart. You don't keep a Tron until you have the nuts, just like the basic rules. And they had the nuts last game. It was like the Stone Cold nuts, but it was good. All right. Yep. That's pretty good. All right. Sure. Watcher for probably Watcher. So next turn I can draw the card and still have Force and guarantee a blue card in my hand. So they go land, we go Soulherder, attack, flicker our thing, draw a blue card, force their Karn or whatever. Hopefully they just don't play like Wormcoil. What is this? Spatial Contortion, my Watcher for tomorrow? So they're not even cracking their maps. They have Natural Tron again. God, what an animal. What an animal. I mean, I want this in play. So I'm going to Ephemerate here. I don't know why they would like let me untap, right? All right, so yeah. Get a card. Hide away again. This time we're going to get a Glasspool Mimic, I guess. That's fine. And that's fine. Now I need to hold Watcher to exile to Force of Negation. I guess we have an Ephemerate coming. Maybe I just like play Watcher and get a clock and play. Just ship this. The Soulherder's so freaking slow anyway. Whatever, just get a clock and play. Spellstutter, Ephemerate, Mutavault. Alright. Spellstutter's not too good. Ephemerate's not great either, honestly. I guess it's Ephemerate. Alright. You're up. So they definitely have Natural Tron because they contorted, they didn't map. Yep. And they're gonna crack the map right now. and get a forest. And play Chromatic Sphere. All right. I mean, so they have no payoff currently. Now we're going to Ephemerate and get the other Ephemerate, I guess. This one's going to get another Force Negation? Sure. We're like kind of going off here, you know, like Spellbinder. I mean, they clearly have no good cards in their hand. Like, maybe Soulherder. Put this next Force in our hand. Put the Mimic in our hand, actually, probably. Guess get Soulherder going. Flicker this one. Let's keep the second Force. So flicker. Triggers. Pump. Get that. Hide away a blue card. All right. End step. Make green. Cycle Wilt. Okay. All right, big Force here. Don't play a creature. Or Ulamog. Oh god, they have Ulamog. Oh no, currently sure. That's scary because they can like play other things too, but sure. I can always Ephemerate the other no, I can't. I don't want to do blue cards, but all right. Boom. 3 cards left. They played a land. It's gotta be a 6-drop, so Relic. Okay. Okay. I guess we Ephemerate one of my. I put the Force in my hand, I guess. Ephemerating Spellbinders is worthless. Venser? That is not good enough. We can't Venser, Flicker Venser. Oh, we can actually with the Soulherder, right? So that actually is the game, I think. Screw Damping Sphere. And now we untap. We Ephemerate the one on Venser. We get Spellstutter Sprite on or draw for a turn. We attack, and now we're gonna Venser, Flicker Venser, and the game's over, I think. Venser's a nut. Venser's freaking awesome. Avalanche Rider, eat your heart out. All right, that was cool. That was cool. I don't know if we can do that again on a draw, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. They definitely bricked a little bit. And Natural Tron, I guess too. They mulligan for it, like a smart person. All right, let's just ride or die here. Brent Spencer. Opponent mulligan 6. I'm gonna keep. I think that we're like a pretty big dog here, and double Damping Sphere is a good path to victory. We have a Vial too, so we have a draw land, but we've got a couple shots at it on the draw. Opponent mulligans to 5. Yeah, opponent knows exactly what they're doing. They're just firing off those mulligans real fast. All right, Sphere, sure. Land. Yep, did it. Did it. So smart. We have 2 also, so like if they have a wilt or whatever. Look at that. Easy game. Easy game. I guess this makes Oblivion Stone a problem. Oh, they have Blast Zone too. Wait a second. All right, that's a problem. So now you can't play a second one. That's actually really bad for us. Okay, that's a problem. Land? Or I meant blue land. Damn it. All right, so we can't play a second Damping Sphere, obviously. We're just gonna play Watcher and see what, looking for Force Negation, I guess. We can flicker it too, so. Spellbinder, Ephemerate, another Damping Sphere. I think 2 is fine. And we could Ephemerate that, but it doesn't do anything. So can't cast Spellbinder Return anyway. Alright, so Mutavault go, I guess. Can't cast Clique. It's rough. It's rough. So of course they're gonna be smart and wait till their end step. So we can't. We have like Clique Spellbinder to defend ourselves for a turn. So we're gonna just Ephemerate this and get this card into our hand. Now you can see how Damping Sphere is gonna be awkward though, because it's gonna make casting spells next turn difficult. The Ephemerate. Force Negation, awesome. All right. Untap. Vial goes up. Rebound. Oh, big brick. Brick City. All right. Take the blue source land. Get Force Negation. Vial goes to 3. Blue card. No. We should need a blue card for Force Negation. Because I can't click them and I need to hold click for force. Gross. Oh boy. All right. So they have 4 cards in hand. I mean, if we had a blue card, any blue card off this Watcher, we were in such good shape because they would kill the Watcher. We would get the blue card end step. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. We couldn't have a blue card. There's literally any blue card or draw blue card. All right. Each spell costs. Yes, we can't play. Vial costs 2 right now. I guess we can just play Vial. We play Vial and just Spellbinder on their turn, on their draw step. God, this is difficult. All right. So yeah, I'll play a 2-mana Vial. All right. Two-mana Vial. Sigo. They have 4 cards in it, which is a lot. So we have to be able to stop whatever they've got with Spellbinder and Force Negation. All right, so pop the zone here. That's fine. We get our card from Watcher. They go in their draw step. Elite Spellbinder, come on down. Take a look. Little looky-loo. 5 cards to look at. I'm a little scared. Their hand is Karn, Ulamog, Stirrings, Map, Forest. They can't play Ulamog yet, but we kind of can't beat that. I guess like I was going to cast Karn, and we're going to force it, and they're going to cast Stirrings. Only have 1 Blast Zone. I guess this is fine. Because we're going to Damping Sphere their Yeah, this is fine. I don't want them drawing something better than this. This is fine. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not clicking. We're spellbindering. Duh. Okay, so in that case, we probably want to make Stirrings cost 3. Ulamog's like off the table. I want them to cast Karn. They could still play Karn and Stirrings, though. It's not that bad. It might just be Ulamog, honestly. Let me just Ulamog. So now Ulamog is off to the sides, and it costs 12. Their hand is these 4 cards. Very, very obviously a force here, because we just didn't take the Karn. I think honestly casting Stirrings here might be a good play, just to start on Stirrings, see if they can find like a Wormcoil or something like that. But all right, losing Clique here does suck, but just has to be done. Now Karn is gone. Now they have Map and Stirrings. So they're gonna map for a tower, I would assume. Try and get Ulamog going. Yep. Okay. And then Stirrings for something. And we need to win the game before this Stirrings for another Karn. That's gross. I guess like the thing can just kill it, but all right, so that's their hand. We untap. We have Mutavault too, so sure. All right, we're kind of like our card draw engine's kind of done now. But all right, this one is always no. This one is yes. I mean, it sort of plays. So now, do I want to leave a Spellstutter Sprite to counter like a Stirrings or a Map or something? Star? I don't think so. I think getting it for 5 is more important. Yeah. All right. So they untap. They've got 5 mana. Karn. But whatever they get, we can just attack and kill Karn. So they get like a Ballista or something. It's like pretty good though. All right, what are they getting? Tense last match here. Tense last match. Wormcoil Engine. They are very close to casting that, so that is pretty scary. Any land will do it. Ugh, come on. All right, so fire up. We might just lose to Wormcoil here if I draw land. They don't have actually like many lands in their deck. A lot of their lands come from scryings and stuff like that. So like they might just draw Sylvan Scrying or whatever. We can counter with Spellstutter Sprite, which is good. So play land and just they go. I mean, just don't draw land. We don't really interact with Wormcoil super well. Perfect. Their hand is Wormcoil Ulamog, yeah. So you mostly just need them to miss for like a turn or two here. If we have a... Wait, what? Oh, the Ulamog's not in their hand, right? Okay, sure. So they have... Oh my god, they have Wormcoil next turn. Oh no! Alright, we need Venser or bust. That also plays, actually. That's actually perfect. All right, cool. Take Wormcoil. Now it costs 8. Spellbinder actually getting the job done here. I was talking trash about it before. It should do it. I mean, I'm not sure what they can draw here. I'll say like a main deck Ballista. Wilt would give them enough mana to cast Wormcoil, but they're staying in the air. Wow. Wow. Cool. That was pretty sweet. So 3 and 2. Deck is super cool. I think it needs to be refined a little bit. I will say, I know Aspiring Spike didn't love the Spellbinders. They were medium. Decks in Modern are really good at playing cheap spells or playing a lot of mana. They seem kind of medium. The Venser was great. Venser was really, really good. I didn't love Brazen Borrower. I wish there was like a little a cheaper thing to do as well. I could see like boarding Reflector Mage too, because that's a possible card. Something like that against like the creature decks could be a thing. Clique was great. Soulherder was good. I wish we had something to do on 2. The Spellstutter Sprites were fine. I'm not sure what other fairies you could like possibly play. Which is a little tough. Faerie was good. The deck's just sweet. Just like a sweet new deck, honestly. So Aspiring Spike, man. Aspiring Spike, don't stop. Just don't stop. So I'm Jim Davis, of course, for CoolStuffInc.com. Want to read more about this deck? I do a companion article to every video I do on CoolStuffInc.com. Go to CoolStuffInc.com proper. Read the article. Do some shopping. Promo code Jim5. 5% off your order. Go buy your singles, your board games. You name it, they got it. CoolStuffInc.com. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Have a good one.